heard Gypsy Rose's baby daddy is very, very sick? They don't know what's going on with him? Say what? What, Bookie?
Gypsy Rose Blanchard's world seems to be unraveling as more cracks in her carefully curated image come to light. From accusations of fake charity scams to fabricating details about her life, Gypsy is once again in the spotlight. Not as a victim seeking redemption, but as someone caught in a web of manipulation and deceit. And now, with her stepmother Kristy Blanchard confirming Gypsy's breakup with fiancé Ken, the facade she's worked so hard to maintain is crumbling faster than ever.
But check this out. Remember I told y'all Gypsy Rose and Ken broke up? And Kristy tried to deny it, but then she accidentally told? Well, she dropped a few more nuggets. I'm gonna need y'all to listen to this.
For months, rumors swirled online about trouble in paradise for Gypsy and Ken. While their fans speculated about a potential breakup, Kristy and Gypsy worked overtime to keep up appearances, presenting the couple as deeply in love and planning for a bright future together. But the truth couldn't stay hidden for long. Kristy has now revealed that Gypsy and Ken had been separated for nearly 2 months before the news finally broke.
No, Ken could stay here
as much as he wants to, right? But she can only stay with him.
Right, she is limited.
Y'all heard Gypsy Rose's baby daddy is very, very sick? They don't know what's going on with him?
The secrecy surrounding their split is raising eyebrows. Why go to such lengths to keep the breakup under wraps? According to Kristy, this wasn't just a matter of privacy. It was a deliberate effort to protect Gypsy's public image. By keeping the breakup quiet, Gypsy could continue presenting herself as a reformed woman on the path to stability and happiness, a narrative that would have been jeopardized if news of the split had come out too soon.
She's telling everybody what gypsies do this month. Gypsy and Ken broke up. They got in a fight. Or whatever the stuff she decides to pull out her ass.
Gypsy trying to tell him, if you don't want to be with me, I'm going to make sure nobody could be with you, Bookie. Kristy is setting up the stage. Ciao.
But Kristy's attempts to shield Gypsy may have backfired. In an effort to deny the rumors initially, she inadvertently let slip that the breakup was intentionally concealed for weeks.
We are not commenting on it, period. I told the media from the last interview that from then on out, their personal life is personal. They haven't been together for almost 2 months. We've managed to keep it quiet for that long. But the a-hole, Brian, took it upon himself to say something. I'm not really sure who Brian is, but yeah. Gypsy didn't ask him to say anything. He's been jealous of their relationship from the get-go. I'm asking you to please not give any comments. I guess just some.
This revelation has only fueled speculation about what Gypsy might have been trying to hide. Some believe the timing of the breakup's disclosure was calculated to protect her ongoing narrative of redemption, while others suspect there's more to the story.
Admit the text, and I know you don't like him, but he's been really, and I mean really sick. He has been having doctor's appointment out of the ASS lately. They can't figure out what's wrong. They did an ultrasound on his lower abdomen. Whatever is going on with him isn't good. Chill.
Possibly another layer of manipulation. Adding to the intrigue is Kristy's revelation about Ken's health. She disclosed that he has been struggling with a serious, unexplained illness, undergoing numerous medical tests as doctors scramble to find answers.
Are these people trying to set Ken up? Y'all. Is Gypsy trying to tell him, if you don't want to be with me, I'm going to make sure nobody could be with you, Bookie. Kristy is setting up the stage. Ciao.
Yet, Gypsy has remained conspicuously silent about Ken's health issues. This has led to even more questions. Is Gypsy distancing herself now that the relationship is over, or could she be using his illness as part of a larger strategy to garner sympathy for herself? Kristy's plea to keep the breakup private only adds another layer of irony to the situation. Gypsy has never been one to shy away from the public eye, often airing the details of her life on TikTok or other platforms. From exaggerated charity claims to sensationalized stories about her past, Gypsy has always thrived on attention. So why is this breakup any different?
Told you. Someone right. And all of a sudden, he's really sick. He wasn't sick before he got to Louisiana. And he's only been sick
Critics argue that it's not just a breakup, it's another example of Gypsy trying to control how the world sees her. By keeping the news under wraps until it was convenient, she ensured her story remained intact as long as possible. But now, with the truth out in the open, the cracks in her narrative are impossible to ignore.
Lately? I don't know, y'all. I don't know, child. I don't know, y'all.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard's recent moves have stirred up a whirlwind of speculation, and honestly, it's giving major soap opera vibes. The question of why the sudden need for privacy surrounding her breakup with Ken is hard to ignore, and many can't help but see it as yet another calculated move by Gypsy to control how her story unfolds.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Ken Urker scheduled to be married March 1st, 2025, only 89 days from now.
By keeping the split quiet for as long as possible, she preserved her carefully crafted image of redemption and stability. And let's be real, when the truth finally surfaced, it seems Gypsy was banking on the drama losing steam or shifting the blame onto someone else, like Brian, who first leaked the breakup news.
Now, of course, this is allegedly for entertainment purposes only, and us nobodies really have no idea what's going on. However, there are registries everywhere, all over the place online, all with the same dates. I counted 7 on Target alone. And guys, almost everything on all of these registries all across the
But Kristy Blanchard's confirmation about the breakup didn't just spill tea on the relationship. It cast a harsh spotlight on Gypsy's consistent pattern of manipulation. This isn't just about one failed romance, it's about the relentless effort Gypsy puts into shaping her public image. And it's raising some serious questions about how far she's willing to go to protect it.
web, show to be purchased already. The grift never stops. It never stops. Now, of course, I don't know the location. I would have to assume that they're going to do it somewhere in Louisiana. I did see one that said Corpus Christi, Texas, which is kind of...
Let's talk about this alleged wedding, shall we? Gypsy's so-called fairy tale wedding to Ken is supposedly scheduled for March 2025. At first glance, it seems like the perfect conclusion to her drama-filled story, a chance to start over and rebuild her life.
Kind of far-fetched to me because it seems pretty far from even Ken's family, who all lives up in Dallas. But we shall see. We shall see. I find it pretty interesting that they would get married so quickly after the baby is born.
But when you look closer, the entire situation feels less like a celebration of love and more like a PR campaign with a side of opportunism. Here's the kicker: 7 wedding registries. Yes, you heard that right. Not 1, not 2, but 7 registries listed at Target alone. What's even weirder?
So Gypsy Rose isn't going to post personal information anymore. Isn't that what she said? But is that really true? No, it's not. Which isn't far-fetched to believe she's lying.
Nearly everything on those registries has already been purchased. While that might sound like a dream for any bride-to-be, it's raising eyebrows for skeptics. Who needs 7 registries for one wedding? And with Kristy confirming that Gypsy and Ken are no longer together, why are these registries still active? Is this a simple oversight, or is it a calculated effort to keep the gifts and the cash flowing?
Because, well, it's Gypsy Rose. I don't think the girl knows how to tell the truth. But she's still posting private information. She's posting by proxy. She's posting through other people. And again, still pushing her nonsense and her story.
Critics have labeled the registries as yet another ploy, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. Gypsy's known for crafting narratives that serve her image, and this feels like a new chapter in the same book of manipulations. The registries aren't just about wedding essentials.
Rose obviously was not very happy, so she had to clap back. And there's 2 comments that Pink Pony Club responded to, and I need y'all to see this. This first one, homegirl says she made a donation to the Habitat for Humanity, which is not true.
They're about maintaining the illusion of a life in progress, a narrative of redemption and new beginnings. But is that story genuine, or just another fabrication? The timing of it all adds an extra layer of intrigue. The wedding announcement comes hot on the heels of Kristy confirming the breakup and sharing details about Ken's health struggles. Coincidence?
But let's spin a block on it. That because they wouldn't allow her to volunteer, she sent an email after asking if she could make a generous donation. Since when do you actually have to ask to make a donation on the
Doubtful. The rushed wedding timeline has left many wondering if this is less about love and more about deflecting from the cracks in Gypsy's story. Adding to the chaos is the recent revelation that Gypsy and Ken welcomed a baby together. Why the rush to the altar? Is it to lock down public sympathy, distract from the breakup, or simply keep the narrative alive for as long as possible?
Habitat for Humanity's site. All you have to do is go in there and put in your information. But no, she wanted this to be recorded for the internet. And obviously she is not too happy at the fact that it wasn't recorded, so she decided not to donate.
And speaking of narratives, Gypsy's behavior online is raising even more eyebrows. Remember when she said she wanted to live a quiet, private life after prison? Well, her TikTok presence tells a very different story. Gypsy isn't just scrolling and posting cute videos, she's using the platform to fire back at critics, clap back at content creators, and keep her name in the headlines. One of her loudest critics, Nina, recently exposed Gypsy for fabricating a story about donating to Habitat for Humanity. According to Nina, Gypsy claimed to have made a generous donation, but provided no actual proof.
We've looked through the Habitat for Humanity public donations and seen that she did not donate. And she's lied over and over again, right? Well, now she commented that
when Nina dug deeper, she found out that Gypsy had asked if she could record the donation process, and when Habitat for Humanity declined, Gypsy allegedly decided not to donate at all. The drama practically writes itself. The plot thickens, and Gypsy Rose Blanchard's recent antics have given the gossip mill plenty to churn. Let's take a moment to dissect her latest moves, because babe, the drama is relentless. Starting with that Habitat for Humanity scandal. Who needs to record their donation?
her mom forced her to be in a wheelchair at the Universal Studios at her big age, when she was sitting in that wheelchair, where we all saw it. And I also spoke to somebody that
donations are supposed to be about helping others, not showcasing your so-called generosity for clout. Yet here we are, with claims that Gypsy decided not to donate after Habitat for Humanity declined her request to film the process. The optics? Not great. This doesn't scream selflessness. It whispers something much more calculated. This is more than a disappointment. It paints a picture of someone who prioritizes appearances over genuine action. It begs the bigger question: how much of Gypsy's public persona is real, and how much is carefully engineered to control the narrative? But wait, that's just scratching the surface. Gypsy isn't just out here making questionable donation decisions. She's allegedly working overtime to silence her critics. Content creators like Nina have accused Gypsy of trying to get their accounts taken down for spreading lies or misinformation. These aren't baseless claims either. They come armed with receipts, often pulling directly from Gypsy's own words and actions. If Gypsy has nothing to hide, why go to such lengths to silence dissenters? Why not address the criticism head-on, with transparency and honesty? Instead, Gypsy seems more focused on stifling opposition, adding fuel to the growing fire of public skepticism. Here's the kicker. Gypsy doesn't seem apologetic or reflective amid the backlash. She's defensive, combative, and unwilling to take accountability. Instead of owning up to her mistakes or setting the record straight, she's doubling down, insisting that everyone else is wrong. Sound familiar? It's a pattern we've seen time and again. From the Habitat for Humanity debacle to her attempts to hush critics, Gypsy's tactics are as predictable as they are transparent. But there's a twist this time. People are catching on. The true crime and drama communities aren't letting this slide, and creators like Nina are making sure the truth sees the light of day.
Knew Didi, and they said that Didi was very scared of Gypsy. That's why she had padlocks on her medicine cabinet, because Gypsy used to steal her meds.
This brings us to Kristy Blanchard's revelations, which have done more than confirm Gypsy's breakup with Ken. They've pulled back the curtain on a much bigger picture. By sharing details about Ken's health and the timeline of their separation, Kristy has unintentionally exposed yet another layer of Gypsy's manipulation. It raises uncomfortable questions. Was Gypsy's involvement in Ken's life a contributing factor to his stress or declining health? Did she prioritize maintaining her public image over supporting her supposedly ill fiancé? And let's not gloss over the effort to keep their breakup under wraps. Breakups aren't exactly uncommon, so why the secrecy? Unless, of course, there's more at stake. Was Gypsy worried that the split would tarnish her carefully crafted narrative of redemption? Was she protecting Ken, or was it really about protecting herself? The irony is impossible to ignore. Gypsy's entire story, her rise to notoriety, centers on her being silenced and controlled by others. And now, she's the one wielding control, deciding who gets to speak and what gets said. It's a stark contradiction that raises serious questions about her motivations and character. Whether it's the fabricated charity story, the rushed wedding, or her attempts to suppress criticism, Gypsy's actions reveal someone deeply invested in controlling how the world sees her. The inconsistencies in her story and her increasingly aggressive online behavior suggest that she hasn't let go of the tactics that once garnered her sympathy. Critics have labeled this as a calculated cash grab, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. Gypsy has a history of leveraging situations for her benefit, and this registry fiasco seems like just another example. It's not about plates and linens, it's about maintaining the image of someone who's rebuilding her life. But is the wedding even real? Or is it just another part of Gypsy's ever-growing web of deception? And speaking of deception, Gypsy's online presence is a whole saga in itself. Despite claiming she wanted to live a quiet, private life after her release from prison, she's become increasingly active on TikTok. But this isn't just harmless fun. Gypsy has been using the platform to clap back at critics, feud with content creators, and defend herself. She's not just participating in drama, she's fueling it. Her behavior comes across as combative and defensive, not reflective or apologetic. One of her most vocal critics, Nina, recently exposed Gypsy for fabricating the Habitat for Humanity story, and the feud between them has been heating up ever since. Instead of addressing the allegations head-on, Gypsy seems more focused on shutting down the conversation altogether. The irony? Gypsy's entire narrative has always been about how she was silenced and controlled by others, yet here she is, attempting to silence and control anyone who challenged her. The inconsistencies in Gypsy's story, her questionable online behavior, and the revelations from Kristy all point to one thing. A woman who is still deeply invested in controlling how the world sees her, whether it's through fabricated acts of charity, rushed wedding plans, or attempts to silence critics. Gypsy seems unwilling to let go of the tactics that once garnered her sympathy. So, what are we left with? Gypsy Rose Blanchard isn't the innocent victim she once portrayed herself to be. While her past evoked sympathy, her present tells a different story, one filled with manipulation, contradictions, and an unrelenting need to curate her image. As Kristy's revelations have shown, even those closest to Gypsy are beginning to see through the facade. Is this a string of bad decisions, or does it point to a deeper, more troubling pattern? Let us know what you think in the comments, and if you're here for the drama, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. This story is far from over, and you can bet we'll be here to cover every twist and turn. Stay tuned.